Well, I want to know, Coach Viro, are you going to be on the TikTok singing "I Want It That Way"?
Man, I tell you what. Yeah, we were lucky enough to have Brian Luttrell from the Backstreet Boys join us in Savannah.
Really?
And
Awesome.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm surprised you use that song.
How was your week?
Lovely.
Lovely. Come on, you could come up with a better word than that.
Fantastic.
All right, I'll buy fantastic.
It's all right. It's been fine.
What
Yeah,
about
it's
this
been fine.
weather, man? It's cold.
Yeah, it was nice actually going out and walk the dog and had to go back in and put a jacket on. I'm like, ooh.
I got the hoodie on.
I saw that. I mean, it's kind of fat boy weather for me, but otherwise it's pretty good.
You're not fat. You're just big boned.
I'm plumped.
All right, well,
Yeah, we'll
pleasantly plumped.
Thank you.
No, seriously, I want to thank Media Zone again for having
Yeah.
us out here.
Dude, what a great setup this time, man.
You know, the setup is awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, this is, thanks to Mike and his team here at Media Zone,
100%.
making us feel welcome and doing all the things that we want to continue to keep doing to bring out, we had a special guest today.
Yeah.
Our first guest.
Yeah.
In week 2 already, we're bringing out the guest.
And it's a fun one too.
Yes, it's
That's
very
what
fun.
I like.
Have you ever been to the
I have
Savanah
not.
Bananas games?
No, I've never been.
You haven't.
I've never been.
Well, you
seen
gotta
them on-
go.
I've seen them on, on TV and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I've never seen them live. No.
Well, we're going to have a great show. We got good things coming up. For those of you who are joining us, we thank you for being a part of our audience,
Without a doubt.
being a part of the Diamond Deals and what we're making, what we're doing, all the good things that are coming ahead of us in future episodes. You're going to be able to catch us on Spotify if you miss us.
Yep.
You're going to be able to catch us on our new YouTube channel.
Yep.
You can catch us right now, Facebook Live, if you're listening to us via Facebook Live at the Diamond Deals podcast that my good friend Jeff of, how many years do I know you already?
34,
Hold on.
I think.
That'll just show our age. Don't.
Just a little bit then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to give a shout out too, though. Joe and Daniel.
Joe and Daniel.
Daniel has been my right-hand guy on this whole social media crap. Because, I mean, I thought I knew what I was doing, but I'm like, yeah, no.
Social media got so out of hand because now there's like a million things you got to do. You got to go to Instagram to share it to Facebook, to go to YouTube, to go to Spotify.
Like when they made Meta on there now, it's like it made it 10
I don't like the
times
Meta.
worse.
I don't
I'm
like
like I
Meta.
can't handle this.
Just so people can buy their own blue check. I mean, what kind of crap
I
is
don't
that?
want that. You got to earn it.
Earn your blue check.
Yeah.
You know how long it took me to get my players' blue checks? I'd have to call the PA. I'd have to do all kinds of different things to get a blue check.
Yeah. And then
This is all the guys want.
Info and about them, I'd show that they are who they are.
It's kind of like travel baseball. Now everybody wants a ring. In social media, everybody wanted a blue check.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. So no, it's gonna be a great show. We're back again. We are here to bring a good fun time.
Yeah. And the cool thing with Facebook Live, you can send in questions, you can send in comments. If you're on right now and you have questions that you want answered or you have something you want to say, by all means, please, put something drop it in the comment box, man, and we'll definitely get it on here for you. Also, I want to shout out a couple of my championship Braves undefeated team. I got about 4 or 5 of those guys that are actually watching it today. So
we
hats off to them.
We talked about that today, or last week, I should say, about your undefeated season, your 16-0 season.
Yeah.
No, that's a great accomplishment.
Of East Pointon.
And again, I'm gonna say it one more time. You coached it the right way. You got the kids involved.
Yeah.
You kept everybody happy. The parents loved you. And also, there's something else you told me today that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
No, I want to talk about it now.
Well, I mean, we can.
Okay. No, it's no, seriously, it's important because it's all of what this show is based off. Look, when I called you up and said, "Hey, we got to get back on the air and do what we used to do years ago before we had kids and stuff like that," you looked at me and you said to me, "Absolutely," but we didn't really know what we were gonna kind of do, But now we know why we're here. We're here because we see how far the game has gotten, how it's evolved, how certain things have happened with travel baseball and Little League and all the good things that kind of go on with that. but we also feel like there's an opportunity there to better it.
Yeah.
With our Florida East Coast Travel League, FLETL, and teaming up with USSSA and all the things that we are doing. But you told me something the other day, and you were like, I met up with some kids and I did some lessons.
Yeah, I did. I worked with Jackson,
right?
Obviously mine, and then I worked with a kid named Zach, and he just wants to get the work in, man. So
right.
They offered, and that's when they said something about, hey, let me give you $50 for your time, and I'm like, for what? I'm not here to make money, dude. Like, I mean, he's 10 years old. What do you want from me?
Right.
This isn't a business.
Right.
This is baseball. If you can make it a business when you get older.
Yep.
But not at 10. Sorry, I just disagree with that.
It
kind of goes everything that I'm against with how the sport has turned out. You're involving money with a bunch of kids that are kids.
Right.
I could see if it was high school or college. I get it. I totally get it. They're trying to get to that level. I get it. But when you're dealing with 9, 10, 11, and 12-year-olds, no. I'm sorry. I just disagree with it.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. I mean, I'm sure everybody will have theirs too, but
I want to give you a big round of applause. And I'll tell you what, I wish we had that, that machine.
A little applause.
Yeah, we got to get that machine. Put that on the list, Mike. On the wish list. On the Christmas is coming up. No, so seriously, I want to applaud you because, a long time ago, I did the same thing, and I was, coaching and doing all the things I was doing. I never took a dollar from any parent or any kid that wanted to get better.
Yeah.
And look, again, I'm not hating on people that, are making a living off of baseball, but there's a time and a place for it. You know what
Correct. I mean, there's facilities for that. That's what they specialize in.
Yeah.
You want to spend your money? Go there.
Right.
But there's no need to go to a baseball field that's anywhere in South Florida.
Open to the public.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But I mean, even then, you can't. It's like going to like Lake Worth Christian's field. I mean,
right.
And I'm going to go there and make $50 to $100 off of a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, dude. I got better things to do.
No, I hear you.
Have a job.
Yeah,
you know
I hear you. Well, let's get a couple topics in, and then we're going to bring in our guest, Coach Viro from the Savanah Bananas. I'm really excited to talk about the banana ball and all the good things that they do and the fun and the excitement they bring back to baseball. They're kind of like, if you remember this, the Harlem Globetrotters. Remember the Harlem Globetrotters?
Oh, yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I went to go see that. Funniest time. They made basketball fun and entertaining.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Savanah Bananas, man. They are putting out a product that is making it so, first of all, it's blown up.
Oh, yeah.
It's unreal the way everything has kind of
You walk any baseball park, and especially youth baseball, Savanah Banana hats are all over the place.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
My
They've
son's got
taken
one.
it over. Yeah.
We took them to the one at the ballpark of the Palm Beaches last year, and had a blast.
Yeah.
And the kids had
It looks like it on Facebook when I watch them on there and on YouTube and stuff. But it looks fun. I'd like to go.
Well, and like I said, I know you got a couple of topics, and then we'll bring on our guests.
Well, you just left the winter meetings.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was cold. It was colder than it was cold here. It was 32 degrees, Jeff.
Well, that's why it's called the winter meetings. But
well, that don't mean I have to have a winter climate.
Fair. So everything went good, I take it. You came back in a good mood, so I guess everything was okay.
Yeah. Well, how do you know I came back in a good mood?
Because you called me and you were in a good mood when you talked to me.
No, it's awesome. Look, I got to first of all, do the business part of it and see a lot of people, a lot of colleagues, and the people that I have known over the last 14 years that I've been going to the winter meetings. It was in Nashville this year, like I said, last week.
Good location.
I love Nashville, dude.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite places to go now.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Did you bring the boots?
Of course I did, but I didn't get to wear them. It was too cold to wear the boots. I had to wear the galoshes and the fur boots. I wanted Furbies. No, but seriously, it was a great time. I actually, quick story. For 14 years, like I said, I've been going to the winter meetings, and I always used to say hi to a person, but not say hi. Like I used to do the old wave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who this person is in just a second. But for 14 years, all I did was go like this to the gentleman. Hi. And I never, come on, man. You know me how long? Again, I'm not a shy person.
Long time.
Not a shy person. And I'm not a person that can't approach people. But for whatever reason, this particular gentleman, I don't know why. I just couldn't approach him. So 14 years goes by. I check into my hotel. I get there Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And who's right there is this gentleman getting ready to check in himself. And I did one of these again. Hi. And I'm like, I'm asking myself while I'm doing that, why aren't I going up to this gentleman and saying hello? So the next day, I'm sitting there having my coffee. I'm doing some paperwork and, working on the computer. And who comes walking by again is this gentleman. I do the old wave again. He comes over and he goes, hey, what's up? Do I know you? You always wave at me, but yet you never say hello to me. Well, this gentleman, his name is Dennis Gilbert, okay? If you go out and Google him, he is one of the most influential agents that were ever a part of an agency business. He owned his own agency group for a long time. He represented guys like Bobby Bonilla. And what do we have? God. Bobby Bonilla Day. Every agent in the world that is an agent of a player knows this day and knows and applauds him for what he did and getting this guy paid for the rest of his life, pretty much.
By far, probably the greatest contract in baseball history.
Or
in sports history, for that matter.
The most well-known?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, long story short of it, he talked with me, Jeff. I'm not kidding you. For 8 hours, he sat there. After I said to him, I know who you are, Mr. Gilbert. Thank you very much for, whatever. He's like, oh, yeah, that's great. Can I sit down? Sure, you can sit down. Hey, do me a favor. Is there coffee around here? Yeah, there's coffee. There's a coffee bean right there. Okay. Go get me a coffee, and I'm going to sit with you. And he sat down, and I swear on my kids, 8 hours.
Holy crap.
Told me everything. All the secrets he had and all the things he's done over his career and how he's gone about getting players and how he didn't do the draft and all this stuff. It was awesome. It was the highlight, honestly, for me the entire week. Now, granted, did some work. Can't really talk about it until it gets announced. But that was part of the highlights. So it was an awesome winter meeting.
That's awesome.
So,
well, good.
Are you ready to bring in Viro?
Yeah, let's do it.
Listen, again, I want to give him the recognition he deserves, the recognition this organization, the Savanah Bananas, deserves. Started basically with a hope and an idea that to make baseball fun again. And what have I been saying for a while now? I want to make baseball great again.
Yep.
Right. I know it's kind of cliche-ish and the whole election and all that.
Like it.
I mean, I know you would like it, but what they are doing is awesome.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I know some people don't like it, but at the same time, you got to go out and you got to watch it and you got to understand it.
Yeah.
And, I've had an opportunity to talk to Coach Viro, and we really had some great conversations, these last few conversations we've had. And I mentioned to him, we had the podcast and I was like, would you mind coming on? And he's like, absolutely. So I couldn't think of a better first guest than Coach Viro from the Savanah Bananas. So awesome. Coach Viro, thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me. Sorry, I'm in a car right now. I'm in San Antonio, ironically, driving to a youth baseball tournament in Corpus Christi to support Jose Trevino for a toy drive that he's doing. So
nice.
I'm thrilled to do it. So hopefully I sound and look good.
Oh, you look fine.
Well, you look good. I'm just glad you're not driving and doing the FaceTime.
All good. So thanks for having me, Phil and Jeff. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to get into it.
Oh, absolutely.
No, Coach, like I said, I had to give you the proper introduction to the show because, truthfully, like I said, what you're doing and what the organization, the Savanah Bananas, is doing is absolutely, in my mind, the best thing that could have happened to baseball in a whole, because of everything that I've watched over the last few years and how youth travel baseball has been, such a dominant force, but also Major League Baseball at the same time, and how people have lost sight of what the game was really truly about. And that it's a game. Yes, it's a business. We know it's a business, but at the end of the day, it's still a game, and it's still meant to be played with fun and with class and with respect and a good time. Going to the ballpark was supposed to be a good time. So thank you. And, just for everything you guys are doing with it.
Man, really appreciate that. And all the credit goes to Jesse Cole and Emily Cole, who had this long-term vision. And, they set out to just create fans and create a great experience for families and for players to play a different brand of baseball. And I'm really lucky to have been a part of it for the past 3 years and help develop banana ball and help bring it to the world. And we're so fortunate. We've accomplished a lot, but internally we say we're only in the first inning. We have a long-term vision here. It's just the tip of the iceberg for us, but it's been a lot of fun. And, next year we're playing in 6 major league stadiums. People say it never could be done. Fenway Park has a wait list of about 170,000 unique requests. And I don't think they fit that many in Fenway. So, we're doing something right, and we're really looking forward to a phenomenal tour next year. But yeah, it's been fun. The ride has been amazing.
What made you kind of get into I don't want to say that line of work, but what made you approach the Bananas and want to be a part of this system?
Yep, a little bit of history about me. I was a lawyer for 10 years in New York City and hated every second of it. My dream after not making it to the big leagues was to become a sports agent. And, Jerry Maguire.
You don't want to do that.
I know. I realize that. And Jerry Maguire was out in the movies, and man, he sure made it look cool, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So I went to law school, hated it. And then baseball has always been my first love. Grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, watching the College World Series. Baseball has taught me more, than anybody's ever taught me. And so I had an opportunity to get back into baseball. I was going to teach and I was going to coach, and I got involved in the youth game in New York City. And the guy who hired me, Nate Fish, who's the executive director for the Israel baseball community here in the States, he joined up with the Bananas on the first world tour, and he brought me along. He needed somebody he could trust and could kind of like help him navigate that. And so I jumped on board with him. I loved it right from the get-go. I loved how it made people feel. I loved the smiles that I saw on players' faces. I loved just kind of like the wholesomeness that I saw at a banana ball game. And I did well enough. They brought me back for a second season, and then a third season they hired me on as full-time as their baseball, their director of baseball operations. And so that's how I got involved. I'm not going anywhere. They're going to have to kick me out of here, man.
Coach, real quick, are you able to turn your camera horizontally for me, if you don't mind?
Absolutely. Let's do it. How's that?
There you go.
There you go.
Well, now we get to see the nice red car that's right next to you.
There you go. They're in the...
So here's the thing. I've never been to one of your games. So it would be new to me. I mean, I've seen them on like the highlights, and I've seen live things on Facebook and Instagram posts and stuff like that. I think what makes me, I shouldn't say happy, but it makes me smile because how many people nowadays, especially not even our generation, you get that one set of generations from like the 20s and the 30-year-old guys, kids, whatever you want to call them, that say they don't watch baseball because it's too freaking boring. I don't want to watch that. It's 9 innings of just a ball and a bat, nothing big. And then you go to Savanah Bananas and you have the center fielder, Meadows, doing backflip catches, and it's like, holy crap. And it's like, you know what? Major League Baseball needs to take some notes, but then in the same breath, it's like, no, let's just leave it the way it is because these guys they're onto something, and you're going to have other people wanting to get involved in it. I mean, I think I just saw on Instagram this morning, I think you guys just re-signed like 3 or 4 players to come back again. So it's obviously taken off. How do you feel about more the trick plays? I mean, is that the whole shtick, or is it baseball?
The baseballs, these guys are high caliber players. We have a former first round pick out of high school, Jake Skoll, who's one of the most gifted athletes I've ever seen who's playing with us. We have Reese Hampton, who was an 80 grade outfielder for the Detroit Tigers. And so these guys really play baseball. And when we met with Tim Kirkchin at our first game last year in West Palm, he said, you know what, I like you guys are onto something here. And if the baseball's not good, though, this doesn't work. And so he watched the game, and I talked to Tim after the game, and I said, so was the baseball good? And he said, the baseball was very, very good. And so the caliber of play is very, very high because we need to make sure that real baseball guys, when they come to our games, they leave saying, wow, that guy could play. And those guys are really good. The trick plays, we want to do things on a baseball field that nobody's ever seen before. Much like the Harlem Globetrotters kind of pioneered the slam dunk and all the different amazing passes, we are pioneering a whole different way to play baseball, a very free way to play baseball. And the trick plays were a big initiative this past year. We had over 600 trick plays and some really, really amazing stuff that landed on SportsCenter. And you shouted out DR Meadows doing that backflip.
That was incredible.
Incredible.
I'm like, how did you do that?
So quick story. He was a shortstop in college, never played outfield. Week 1 of spring training, we said, hey, can you do a backflip? And he's like, no, I've never done one, but I'll figure it out. A week and a half later, he was catching fly balls while doing a backflip. So, it's just a testament to the caliber of athletes that we have, but it's all part of the show. It's a piece of the puzzle, right? Yeah. People are coming to these games, to our shows, and they're being entertained. There's something for the little girls who have no interest in baseball. There's something for the women who have no interest in baseball. And there's something for the men who love baseball and everything in between. And so it's a beautiful mix of everything you could possibly want at a ballpark in a positive, just wholesome environment.
So when you brought up the fact of, it's part of the show, you know what I'm saying? Like it's part of what you guys do. And it puts smiles on the faces and stuff. So I'm going to tell you the ones that highlight for me is the umpires. Dude, whoever the guy is behind the plate, that's like my dream job right there. That guy can just shake that thing like there's no tomorrow. And I'm like, God, and he's built like me. This is perfect. I should be doing this. And then when he takes the mask off and he gets in the crowd and he's dancing with other people, I'm like, this guy is freaking great. And so I guess that's going to lead to my question. So when you hire umpires, like when this league hires umpires, do they have to audition that way? Or is it you're hired as an umpire and we hope to God that you know how to dance?
So you're referring to dancing ump. That's Vincent Chapman. He is a one of one. We haven't seen anybody like him. We have other umpires in the field that there's no entertainment requirement from them, and we don't force these guys to do anything. They bring their character, they bring their entertainment. But Vince Chapman, man, you're right. Like he is next level. And quite frankly, my dad, who's watched me play baseball forever, the first person he said, hey, is Vince Chapman, is that dancing umpire going to be at the games? And I'm like, that's your first pick out the gate. But he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's great. And we were going to go last season through East Point and Beach Little League. They gave us all tickets to go, and I couldn't go. So I ended up, I was kind of bummed because I was like, I never even heard of it before. And I'm like, I don't even know what Savanah Bananas is. Like, I'm like, God, I don't know what that is. So then when I get home and I log on to like YouTube, I'm watching videos, and I'm like, let me see what that's all about. And that was the first thing that caught my eye was the freaking umpire. And I'm like, dude, the umpire's in on this crap? I'm like, this is awesome. And that's when I've told my son wants to go, all his friends, they all go. And so that's where I was like, I got to get down there, man. Next time I get down there, I got to yell out and see what you're doing.
Well, I want to know, Coach Viro, are you going to be on the TikTok singing, I want it that way?
Man, I tell you what. Yeah, we were lucky enough to have Brian Luttrell from the Backstreet Boys join us in Savannah.
Really?
Awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised you use that song. Yeah, Brian Luttrell, he joined us. He was a friend of Jeremy Guthrie, former big leaguer. Mm-hmm. And Brian came out and was phenomenal. Taught our guys some dances and did some really, really great performances. Got on that bat, didn't fare too well, but yeah, that's the thing with Savanah Banana games. You never know what you're going to see. We never announced those special guests. Nobody had a clue that a Backstreet Boy was going to be there. That's just kind of a special thing that people, can kind of be surprised by at one of our shows.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for what you're doing. Coach, you and I have talked a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I've enjoyed every single conversation, learning about you and learning about your career and learning about the Bananas and how everything kind of evolved. And we talked to you a little bit also about, Jeff and I's league, the Florida East Coast Travel League, and what we're trying to do for kids, and how we're trying to bring the fun back with our opening ceremonies and, all kinds of different things that we're doing. You know, what we would love to see is that same kind of evolve to make it fun again for these kids just to come out. Well, what you're doing is awesome, but we want them to come out and play also at a competitive level like you have with those guys out there, and the umpires and everybody just be involved in the game. Yes, there's plenty of time for competitiveness, but when you're 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, you know just as well as I do, you have plenty of time to worry about the future ahead of you if baseball is part of that future. I tell parents all the time, baseball can be a part of your future if you truly want it to be, but it doesn't necessarily always have to be on the field.
Well, Phil, the conversations we had, you guys are onto something down there, and I think that if I had a child, that your program is the one I'd want them to be in, because your focus, you nailed it. The focus is on fun and enjoyment, enjoying the game. And I ran a youth baseball program up in New York City for 12 years, and you can imagine the kind of chaos that ensues in New York City with all the different kind of egos and things that play up there. But I've seen the travel baseball game ruin more kids than it's helped, quite frankly. And I've seen it drive a wedge between families and friends and neighbors and classmates, and it's horrific. And so the youth game, there's it's gotten way out of hand. Banana ball, I think, is helping kind of inject, giving the game back to the children. When we have these camps and things, the parents sit back and the coaches sit back and they let their kids just play and have fun. And, right. Part of it's because they don't the families don't understand banana ball, but, a kid, I told you, Phil, you don't have to beg a kid to play video games or go skateboard, because that's fun and that's enjoyment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In baseball, we've all seen families having to beg their kids to go to practice and games because the kid's just not having a good time and he doesn't want to go. And so that's a tragedy. Organizations like yours, you need to hold the line on that, because there's always going to be people out there trying to chase trophies and trying to chase rings, and that's kind of preying on kids' kind of emotions. But what the child doesn't know, that that's probably not the best for their long-term development, and probably not the best for their long-term enjoyment of this game. So keep fighting the good fight down there, because it's all about happiness. It's all about joy, and especially at that younger level, you got to keep them in the game as long as we possibly can.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't. You heard it here first. Coach Viro just basically said the seal of approval from the Bananas, from a manager from the Bananas, and a man who has been around the youth game for so long, Jeff, that what we're doing down here, similar to what they're doing, in Savannah and the tours and everything, it's bringing back fun. And that's the most important thing. You guys have another expansion team too coming around, don't you?
We do. We added our third team under the Fans First umbrella, the Firefighters. The Firefighters are going to be starting to play in mid-May. And
nice.
When we...
Now, are they going to have a calendar for that or no?
For
the Firefighters calendars?
Actually, that reminds me. now I pronounce you Chuck and Larry. I want to see that calendar.
Jeff, if I had $1 every time I've heard that, either on a comment or in person, man, I'd be able to hire somebody to give me some hair back.
Hey, but I hear you.
I was going to say you guys look like twins.
Yeah, but yeah, we're adding a third team, and the idea behind the name is we're able to create an experience around the team that is unique, right? And so if you've been to a Bananas game, everything is bananas and awesome. The party animals, they everything is appropriate from a party animal standpoint. And Firefighters is not going to be any different. And there's no better, there's no better profession to really honor than firefighters. There's a lot of noble professions out there, but giving them some love. And, what kid doesn't like firefighters? So that's pretty great. And, we're going to be unveiling probably 3 to 4 new teams before 2026 as the thing ramps up.
Now I think you said earlier, you guys are coming down here again, correct?
We are. So we are opening up our tour at Steinbrenner Field on February 8th through the 10th. Which
great field.
Great field. We played there last year, and it was electric. Everybody in the Yankees organization was first class. I grew up, I was a Yankee hater. That organization, Coach. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Well, I told you, I like everybody. It doesn't matter. I'm an agent. I have to like everybody.
You gotta like them all. But from a fan standpoint, the Yankees were first class. We're opening up down there. We also are going to go to Jacksonville, and then we're also going to play in Miami at Miami Marlins Stadium to end our season.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be great.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I got one more thing I just want to throw out, Coach. Please. You made a comment earlier just a little while ago about how it's turned into where it's not about rings and trophies. It's about these kids, you're teaching them the game of baseball. You're making it fun. And so I just had a season, which I'm not trying to brag.
He brought his ring. He's not making it about rings.
But what I want to get across is I brought it just for the set. And I got half of my teams watching this. So, but we went 16-0. So I went undefeated and won this championship. And granted, yes, it was racking. I'll give you that. But my motto is I don't get into it for the rings and the trophies. I wanted to teach them how to be a team and how to win with class. I have 2 kids that are going on to play in the next level as far as moving up in seniors. And then I have 4 kids that are going to play middle school ball. If they don't make those teams, then I didn't do my job. Correct. And that's what I wanted them to understand. So when Phil and I talked about it last week, and I told him, I said, I think the highlight of my whole season was the end when those kids won the championship and they didn't throw a glove, they didn't throw their hats, they didn't hug and kiss and everything else. They dropped their gloves, they went to the white line and put their hands out and shook hands, and then it was done. And that's when I looked at my assistant coach and I told Jamie then, I was like, that right there is what it's all about.
Yep.
Is class. And they obviously had fun because they all go to your games. So a lot of I got to hear about, doing sliding catches. And then when they get an out, they want to dance on second base. I'm like, okay, enough. But so how many teams do you actually have in your league, by the way?
So we don't have a bona fide league yet. We have the Bananas, the Party Animals, and we're going to be adding the Firefighters.
Right.
We will be adding a developmental team as well, as kind of a jump starting that next year's season. We will play some challengers next year. We're going to play a team from Australia, which will be a lot of fun. But
that'd be cool.
We're looking to build out a league of 6 to 8 teams. And, right now we are just like, we're going around the country and with the Party Animals and just put on great shows.
That's awesome.
But hey, I wanted to talk really quick about the rings and the trophies. There's nothing wrong with competition, and there's nothing wrong with celebrating earning championships and earning wins. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And quite frankly, it's a skill that kids have to learn. They have to learn that they need to earn the right to be called a champion. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think my comment was based on these travel organizations that every weekend it's a different roster of kids they're picking up here and there, and the sole purpose is to win that ring or win that championship. And there's a lot of that's a whole nother podcast, but I have no problem with wins and losses and rings and celebrating kids, because that's great. That motivates them. But it can't be the only thing. And it sounds like, Jeff, you're doing it the right way. Win with class, play the game the right way. I apologize on behalf of the Savanah Bananas that they're dancing on second base and doing their things. But
no, it's fine.
Hey,
no,
it's fine.
No,
I like that personally. I mean, every now and then you got to have a little fun, because again, like I told Phil, and they're 10 and 11, 12 years old. I mean, you're going to have, they're kids, so they're going to dance. I totally get it. It's a time and place is what I always tell them. So it's one of those where Savanah Bananas, they pick their time and places. I think the first game I ever saw was them doing, I think it was Bon Jovi, or no, I'm wrong. I lied to you. It was Celine Dion, and it was all coming back to me now. And the pitcher is mouthing all the words. I'm crying, laughing as I'm watching it. And my parents happened to walk by when I was at their house, and they're like, "What the hell are you watching?" And my dad is like in tears laughing. He goes, "Where's that been?" And I'm like, "Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know who this team is, but this is freaking hilarious."
You know, I was one of the most competitive persons I ever met.
Agreed.
Look, I am competitive when I go to the bathroom. I mean, it's how fast can I get in and out, or how, whatever I got to do, I'm competitive no matter what it is. But so I agree with you 100%, Coach. I want to win too. But you know what I also did? I learned from my losses. I learned how to win. I have a saying, how to win with class and lose with integrity. Okay? You have to learn these things as a part of life itself, from a competitive angle, as well as later on, if you don't make baseball a part of your life, what you have to do: be classy, have integrity, have morals, have all these good things that baseball taught me. Not only did baseball do that, but my parents also instilled all that stuff, because we all want to be good people growing up. We all want to be good adults as we get older, and baseball has a part in that. So by winning with integrity, losing with grace, doing everything you have to do to honor the game, honor the people that are standing across from you, and then having fun doing it. I don't care if a kid dances. I have zero problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is what you said, having one team one weekend and another team another weekend, and parents are paying for that, and then all of a sudden somebody's coming in and taking that spot the next weekend. That's unfair.
It's tough. I've coached some truly elite teams in my amateur days, and it's tough, man, because if you have compassion for kids and really care about them, hopefully you have the balls in order to have the honest conversations with them as well about why this is happening to them. If that's what's going on. But the one thing that hasn't been mentioned about the Bananas is the way that our guys play the game. Sure, we do things different, but the one thing you will see is you won't see a lot of the arguing. You won't see a lot of, that kind of like, one-upmanship and kind of like calling people out. We know that when your players come to our games, they're watching everything that our players are doing, and they're emulating our guys. And much like all of us used to emulate and do the batting stances and the Ken Griffey and all those things, that's not happening anymore. Okay. And so we now realize that we have a platform at the Bananas to teach kids the right thing that may have been lost, or that they may just not be interested getting from the big leaguers anymore. Right. And so winning with grace and losing with integrity and behaving the right way, aside from our crazy antics, is something that we tell our players every single day, literally every single day. There is a kid up there, and he is watching you and everything that you do. And then they're going to take that and they're going to emulate you. So if it's your child, how do you want them to emulate you? Right. And so it starts with the parents. The coaches have to reinforce it. And then, then the players will pick up wherever they pick it up from. But if it's not being taught in the home and it's not being reinforced on the ball field, man, we got an uphill battle then. But so, it's, again, like, kudos to you guys for fighting the good fight and doing it the right way. And you got to hold the line on it, right? Like, there's unscrupulous organizations out there, and there's always going to be, that kind of focus on the wrong thing. And as long as you keep focusing on the kid and making them the hero and making them, primary and Jeff, like you said, doing your job so that they can go make that middle school team or that senior team or that varsity team or whatever it may be, then you did your job, man. No amount of trophies or rings is going to replace doing right by a kid. None of it.
No. Look, the attitude is right there, and the message is right there of everything you just said. Be a good individual on and off the field. Be a good teammate. You know, the one thing I've noticed about the Bananas and the Party Animal, they're teammates. There's no I in the team. They bond together. They laugh together. They play together. They're competitive, and they do fun things on the baseball field. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's also a time to win, and there's also a time to lose. Coach, one more thing before we let you go, but you're coming down here. What do I got to do to get my entire league to come to the Miami one? That's what I want to know. I want to what could I do to make something and another impact to get these kids and these coaches and these families at that Miami? You just tell me, and I'll do what I got to do to make sure these kids have another great time one night.
Yeah. Well, don't buy tickets on StubHub. You know, you're going to see a lot of stuff out there. Yeah, you gotta go get in line with everybody else. But the good thing with Miami Marlins Park is it's massive. Get a group ticket link, get all your guys there. We'll get 200, 300, 500. It doesn't matter. We'll get whoever we need to get there. But yeah, you know, the ticket wait list, I think we have 2 million people on our wait list right now for tickets, and that's insane. But you know, it's if you want to get involved, you got to go on our website. You got to get in line. But the group tickets is the way to go. And
Yep.
for those large organizations that want to bring a lot of kids and you know, impact them and show them a great time, they'll be able to get in.
Great. Yeah, no, I wanted you to plug that so everybody knows how to get to a Bananas game. You know what I mean? How to go out there and have fun, enjoy what they're doing, make a cool night out of it. You know, when we did our opening ceremonies for FLETL, I mean, Coach, we had a flyover with a helicopter just to do something different that nobody has done in a long time. We did press conferences. We did all kinds of different things. And that's exactly what you guys are doing. And I can't wait to see the next show down in Miami. So I will be there. I promise you that. Whoever's following with me and coming down with me and not doing another tournament for another ring, just kidding. Hopefully they come with us and enjoy the great experience that you guys are putting out there, the great product that you guys are putting out there. And thank you. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you coming on the show and being our first guest.
Man, I appreciate you guys. And you know, if anybody in your organization wants to reach out to me directly, wants to talk to us directly, I can put them in touch with some players. But yeah, you know, we're ambassadors for this game, and not just banana ball, but the game of baseball, because we all grew up loving it. It's the game we love. And so we want to be a resource for you. And but yeah, thank you for having me on the show. It's an honor. It's the only first overall pick that I probably will ever get in my life. So I'm going to cherish it forever.
No, Coach, thank you very much. Please drive safe. And we're looking forward to the upcoming tour. So great job again. Thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to have you back on again.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it. See, now that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly the stuff that I have been preaching for so long. And, you know, ever since having kids, and we talked about this last week, and we won't get into it too much, but having kids, but also teaching them that the experience is what is beneficial to them.
I think what I want kids that are watching, and I know they're watching tonight, or they're going to watch the after stream there,
The after show.
But it's nice to hear a professional coach say what he says, because it's one of those where, like you had said last week, it's nice that you brought old school baseball back to East Boynton, and that's kind of what he's preaching at. You know, I mean, that's what he's saying in so many words. Do it right and keep them involved. And I mean, and somebody like that's preaching about it, they brought the fun back to baseball. Well, now it's giving these kids other options.
Absolutely.
So it's giving them, hey, I can't make it to the major leagues, but I could try out for the Savanah Bananas or the Party Animals or whatever.
Right.
And gives them, it keeps that door open for that dream that they can live. You know what I mean?
Or be an umpire and dance.
I'm going for that, dude. Yeah, right now, Jack.
No, I'll tell you what.
Look,
First off, we got a lot of people watching us today, and thank you very much for tuning in and watching Coach Viro. I want to big shout out to Mike Pitti is on, and Johnny McVeigh, who said winning is fun, and you know, he's a coach over there in Iowa.
Shout out Danny Englert. Boulevard shirt on there today, guys. So we're keeping it real.
We mentioned the Boulevard earlier. Steve Kellogg, who was asking a question about the visitors in 2024 schedule. We'll get you that answer next week. I apologize for not seeing that, but we had so many questions to try to get in, and so much, so little time with Coach Viro. We will definitely get some of those answers for you. Yep. But again, thank you for everybody who's tuning in and watching us and participating in the show on Facebook Live every week. We're going to be on Facebook Live, Jeff, from 5 to 6.
Yep.
There's a couple other things I wanted to kind of discuss today, but
we're pushing time. So I'm going to do the short version.
What's that?
So the Yankees make a big trade last night while I was sitting in my chair watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
And so Juan Soto gets traded to the Yankees. I refer to that as, in my book, that's their way of trying to get the big three, right? They're trying to get the big three names: Judge, Soto, Rizzo. I would say Stanton, but I think he's trash in my book. But I think he's an overpaid strikeout king. And I hope
trash.
Ted Camburn is watching this when he's at the house, by the way. I thought, and really it's one of those where I don't think the Yankees got hurt in the trade. I really don't.
Right.
I don't know much about Trent Grissom or whatever, but from what I looked at what they gave up for him, it wasn't like they gave away the whole farm system. I mean, they gave away some players. That's about it. I think the Padres wanted to free up the money in my book, but that's just me. But I think it could be interesting. I mean, only the season will tell you, but I think it'll be interesting on how that works. I mean, what's your thought as a baseball fan? You can't do agent talk. I don't want any money involved in any of that stuff. Is it a good trade, bad trade?
For the Yankees, I think it's a good trade. I think they got what they needed. I still think they need pitching.
Without a doubt.
I still think they are a team that'll get him, but still blow it in the playoffs. They'll blow it in the playoffs. I swear they'll blow it in the playoffs. Look, it was. I think it was something they set sights for.
Yeah.
Went after it and they got it done.
Yeah.
The interesting part was
they're just up there.
I saw on the screen. Mike's doing a great job of getting all our info up there.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what the big talk was the whole entire time when we were walking around and getting things done at the winter meetings was Ohtani.
He's gonna get paid, man.
Yeah, I said he was gonna get paid last week, but you know what? The more I continue to keep thinking about it, the more I'm like, take the short deal.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. I think the problem with baseball, and like you were saying before, with contracts like the Bobby Bonilla contract, right? Yep. I think they're looking for that 7-year, 10-year deal. And why? Just do 3 years, and if you want to keep going, then we'll go again. But I mean, it's one of those where I don't see how anybody's going to pay him $500 million for 3 years. I mean, that's a lot of freaking money, man.
Can you believe we're saying that $500 million to play baseball?
Yeah.
We did it for a free slushie when we caught a foul ball.
I still do it as a coach. I get a free hot dog at the end of the game. So, I mean, that's fun.
It's unreal. Look, it was the talk of the entire week. I got there on Saturday, left on Wednesday afternoon, and pretty much the whole time I kept telling people, first of all, it's not getting done. It's not getting done this week.
Yeah. No,
I knew
I
it wasn't.
So
I thought Soto would get done. I definitely didn't think Ohtani was going to get done. But what I also did think was that hopefully some of these teams, and even Ohtani himself, gets the highest annual average than any baseball player in Major League Baseball currently, but he doesn't do it with a 10-year contract.
Could happen.
I just, look, as an agent, I know people are going to think I'm crazy, but the ring's important too. Winning a championship is definitely, I know we're going from one extreme to the next saying rings aren't important. We're saying at the major league level, when you go and want to leave your legacy and you want to do, most people are just going to remember a guy that has a $10 million or 10-year contract that never won a World Series.
Yeah.
So in my mind, you could have the best of both worlds if you go into a situation where you're realistic, get with a contender right off the rip, and then win that World Series, and then you have a choice to leave in a couple of years.
Correct. Yeah, that makes more sense.
That's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm also not saying that
I
most
don't
of my agent colleagues aren't looking at me like I'm a retard right now.
And I don't think there is a right or a wrong way in his situation. I mean, really, if anything, he's setting himself up pretty well.
He's going to get paid no matter what.
He's going to get paid, but he's in control in so many words of where he goes. So if he really wants a contender, there's 4 or 5 teams that are looking at him going, yeah, we could use you. And right now, I think he's enjoying free agent. I think he likes the attention myself. But I had somebody ask me at the ball field last night, Cody Bellinger.
Yep.
What's he worth? Any idea? Where does he go? I really thought he was going Yankees. I really, truly did. And until I saw Soto's trade go through last night, I'm like, that changes things for me now. So I don't know where he goes.
Next question.
Fair. Okay. Fair enough. Oh,
No. I wasn't trying to be, avoid the question. But look,
is he worth the price of admission?
I think so.
Yeah, I do too. And that was the reason why. And you can see it on my notes, folks. It's right here. Ohtani versus Bellinger. I had that asked me if I was a general manager and I had to pick one of those two. Everybody picks Ohtani. I actually picked Cody Bellinger. Just because I think for a value standpoint, it's worth it for me as far as my money.
Mm-hmm.
But number 2, I think he's younger than Ohtani. So I think you're going to gain a little more out of it. But
I personally think.
I mean, Ohtani is great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I do have my downfalls with him.
Look, he's had TJ twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I've had players that had TJ once, and then people were trying to stay away from them. I'm not kidding. It's a
and
true
this
story.
guy gets it twice.
So this guy gets it twice, and he can hit home runs, and I get it. That's awesome. But am I paying 10 years, $500 million for that?
No,
I'm not.
No, exactly not. I mean,
I'm not.
They said something about him being Hall of Famer, and I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah.
But speaking of Hall of Fame, before we jump off, FLETL has a way of setting it up now to give teams Cooperstown help.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Good call. Thanks. I forgot.
I used to do this for a living. It's fun.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I joined you on that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Remember Saul?
Yes, I do remember Saul.
We'll get into that another show. But, similar to the banana ball stuff, look, we're doing what we're doing because we want to give back. We want to do beneficial things for organizations. One of the highlights of a kid and a team right now is to go to Cooperstown. It always has been. It's been that way for a while. Yeah. Or even Pigeon Forge. So what we are trying to do at FLETL is to help out these organizations because it could cost you in excess of $15,000 to $20,000
to take a team there.
Wow. Man, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
And teams have to fundraise for that. So they're out there. Dylan just did it this past week or 2 weeks ago when I was gone.
Yeah.
No, actually, it was last week. It was last week when I left.
Yeah.
He went out to a Publix and stuck out the helmet and hat and, asked for donations. That's a lot of sticking your hat out and your helmet.
That's a lot of sticking your hat out.
So,
what
we're coming up with here, as a group with FLETL is being USSSA sanctioned. We can do a tournament for you. Under USSSA, help your team fundraise for Cooperstown.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Look, I know nobody else is doing it.
Yeah.
Sorry, nobody else is doing it. Prove me wrong, because I haven't heard anybody.
I haven't until I saw the FLETL post the other day, and I was like, oh wow, that's a great idea. So I was glad we were going to come on and talk about it.
Yep. Future guest. I got something, look, again, going to the winter meetings, I get to see a lot of my colleagues. I get to see a lot of people that I know. I met Dennis Gilbert. I asked him to be on the show. He's like, yep, absolutely. I'll come on.
Okay.
So we could end up having him sooner or later. But next week is going to be a great show. We have a gentleman that I've been friends with since pretty much I started the industry, is John Updike. John Updike was a scout for the Mets. Okay. He was with them a long time, played also in the pros. Okay. Became a scout later on, has got into analytics now, but he's the guy that actually drafted Polar Pete.
Really?
Pete Alonso.
Huh.
So he's going to be coming on the show, kind of telling us a little bit how he transitioned from being a scout
to
the analytic world.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. People want to see it. People want to hear it.
I would love to hear it. I've had this conversation with you. I've called you off just before asking how hard is it to become a scout, and the analytics took it over.
So I was sitting with John and his team over the weekend or during this last week, and I actually got to sit with him and an ambassador for his organization.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who? Take a wild guess.
I don't know.
Johnny Gomes.
Really?
He's an ambassador for Yacker Tech and Baseball Cloud. All right.
Okay.
So if you don't know who Johnny Gomes is, played for the Boston Red Sox, won 2 World Series championships. Johnny actually said he'd come on the show too. So look, we're going to continue to keep having fun with this. We're going to continue to keep bringing on great guests like Coach Viro, John Updike,
great.
Dennis. Yeah, I mean, Viro was awesome, dude.
He was great.
Awesome guy. I mean, the guy pulled over to the side of the road and had a conversation.
I thought he was in a Walmart parking lot. I'm like,
that's why I think he was. He might have been in a McDonald's drive-thru.
Hey, whatever.
He just, kind of holding up traffic there, but, But yeah, so, we're going to continue to keep bringing awesome guests, awesome topics, and a fun time.
Yeah, agreed.
What else? What else we got? We got a couple more minutes. We started a little bit late.
Well, yeah, we did. The only thing I was going to say is going back to, like I said, I know we were talking all sorts of kind of baseball, but so youth baseball, I did ask my father, by the way, what the difference was. And
is he coming on the show?
I'm trying to get him here.
Butchie, if you're listening right now, it is my personal request. I know you won't do it for Jeff. You'll do it for me, though.
He'll call it, yeah.
I want my old coach, a guy who coached me in Little League at the same fields that we are going to be redoing at East Boyne Little League fields. By the way, shovel goes in the ground in January.
Beautiful.
Okay. I want my old coach to come on. And actually, we probably should have him and Quinn on.
Yeah, we should.
And what was like for them to coach us. Yeah. And what was it like for them to be involved? And at that time, there was no travel baseball.
No.
So, Butchie, I'm asking you as a favor to me, come in here. You can bring a cooler if you want to bring a cooler. Bring old Mighty Quinn out.
Yeah.
And
Mike won't care.
Nah.
He'll be fine with it.
Mike, it's all right.
He's already shut the door. He doesn't even care about what we're doing now.
Is he watching porn?
I don't know what he's doing, but it's fine.
I'm only kidding. It's a kid show.
His big comment was, it's the way the game is played, but it's participation awards is what's changed it.
Yeah.
Is that everybody thinks that just because they came in 4th place out of 10 teams, well, I should get a trophy.
Nope.
For what? What'd you do? You didn't win anything.
Nope.
And he said that's the problem with youth sports, not just baseball, youth sports. And he's like, so yeah, I'll try to get him to come in here.
No, I'll pick him up on my way in. He's
all right,
gonna come in here. And again, as fathers, as coaches, as agents, as ambassadors, or whatever you want to call us of baseball in general, it's more again about life's experiences. I've experienced great times through this game. I'm experiencing great times watching it through the eyes of now as a father with my children. I'm leaving here and going to another game.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch my kid play. He's playing in a wood bat tournament.
Never stops.
Yep. So it doesn't stop. But guess what? There isn't a place I'd rather be.
Oh, yeah. It's fun.
I mean, you had to pull us. So I would have slept at the field if my parents let me. In the dugout, no blanket, no pillow.
Yeah.
Use my glove as the pillow.
Yeah.
That's how I would have. You had to drag us out.
Yeah, it's just a different time, man.
Look, I don't think that people.
I do think there's some kids that are like that, though.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think there's still people out there like that, but I think it's at a different level now, in a sense. It was for us. It was more about being around the game and doing things, or being around our friends. All the friends we've made. We've talked about that.
A lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
geez, we named off Englert tonight. I mean, I met him when he was 9 and I was 10.
Yep.
And here I'm 44, so I've known him a long time.
Yep. No, we are going to. Who is that? My first coach of the podcast.
That's Tim Grambo, man. All right.
Grambo.
Yeah.
I saw Butch's name. I thought Butch was participating, but no. So, yeah. I mean, look, we will continue to keep making this show fun. We got it now. tell them all the social media stuff. We were talking about it a little earlier, but now tell people how they can find us. If they didn't catch the show today, how can they find us on the internet, on, to listen video or audio?
Yep. So it is on, we are on Facebook. So you can go to Diamond Deals Podcast on Facebook. Obviously the live link will stay on no matter what. Once it's done, you can rewatch. We're also, we're on YouTube as well. So we're on there as well. Diamond Deals Podcast at YouTube. We're on Twitter. If you want to go on to do the Twitter or the X as they call it now.
People still do Twitter?
I live by Twitter, dude. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. 100%.
See, I watch Twitter only for the international trades and stuff like that now with Heyman and or not Heyman necessarily, but KBO and MPB but Heyman always obviously tweets a lot too. But yeah,
I get more of my inside reporter stuff. They throw a lot of it on Twitter because they can't voice it.
Yeah,
like they can't go on Instagram and post something. They can just put words like breaking news. This happened. That's how I found out about Soto before it even hit my phone on CBS Sports. It was on Twitter.
Really?
So. They still do it, but we're on there as well. Diamond Deals Pod, by the way. And
what a pod, man.
Oh my God.
You think he's listening about it, Nicky Quinn?
Yes, he is.
You think he's listening?
He is listening.
Well, if you are listening, Nick, where's the pod?
Oh man, he is listening. And then we're also on Instagram as well at Diamond Deals.
I do have one other thing I want to talk about, and then we will wrap it up. But what I also want to do, I want to take the show live. On set at a place, the Boulevard.
Yeah.
I want to do a game. One of the games that we have
that'd be fun.
For FLETL.
Yeah, that'd be
go
fun.
broadcast live for the game, and we can kind of do the color commentary and bring some excitement there while these kids are actually playing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I have so many great ideas. Mike is probably going to fall asleep, but we'll get him on board. We're going to bring this show to the next level. And we're going to have fun with it. And I keep saying it that way. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I have so many good ideas to make this game fun again and make it enjoyable and get us involved with some of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all for it, man. I think that'd be awesome. That'd be a great thing. Definitely got to do the Boulevard. That would be a blast.
Well, Danny's actually joined us right now.
Yep,
so
there he is.
Danny, you tell us, write a date right now in the chat right now as we're speaking live before we go off the air. What date works for you? We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
You tell us what day, what night. We can do it during spring training. We can do it during football.
Mike's
I know. Well,
his hair out right now, but it's fine. Yeah.
Nah, well, he's got a hat on. Just tell us what day, what time. I'm going to go live from the Boulevard, Boynton Beach Boulevard, the Boulevard. Go see our friend Danny. Best wings, best food.
Oh, good wings there, man.
Entertainment. They have a DJ. They have live music. They have everything there. It's a great place. It's our good friend. I grew up with Danny in our neighborhood since I'm 8, 9 years old. So yeah. I'm waiting for him to give us a date. Is he listening?
He should be. I mean, he's obviously commenting, so we're fine. Yeah. So I mean, that would be fun. I think the live game thing would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because that way you can kind of get these kids involved as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, we did it during, not to cut you off, we did it during the Stand Up for Cancer tour. We had Daniel and Joe doing the in-game,
that's right.
mic'd up in the dugout.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, the one kid he was in the coach pitch game, and the dad got hit in the groin, and the kid goes, "Oh, he just got hit in the nuts."
Oh! Kid took out his dad. Shot. Dang it! Wow. His son took out his dad. That's crazy. He took out his own dad.
And live on the air, it was awesome. And he just got hit in the nuts. Yeah. And then I'm like, in the banana. He got in the banana ball.
He got hit in the Savanah Banana. Yeah, I think that's a great thing, only because, again, you talk about making memories for these kids and stuff. I mean, what better way? I mean, that saves. I mean, once it hits on the internet or hits anything, it's there. Like it's not going away. So yeah, definitely check us out. We're on Facebook Live. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. And yes, we will be on Spotify. Between me and Daniel, that guy is, dude, what a godsend he is. And go Knowles. And he
You didn't
He
have to put that.
it's for him.
You didn't have to put it in there.
But anyway, so he says that we can get it done, so we'll get it done. So that's how I work at it. Yep. Danny's not writing back, so
No, he did. He wrote back. He said,
What did he say? I don't see it.
He said, "Boom, let's go." Or what? I don't know.
That probably means any date.
Way to read between the lines. All right, well, guys, we want to thank you again. Again, a big shout out to Coach Viro from coming on from the Savanah Bananas, stopping his car on the middle of the interstate, holding up traffic, doing everything he did to come on and be a part of our show. Thank you, for our audience that was watched 100%. Today on Facebook Live, had all the questions. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, thank you.
Without you, it's not possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Thank you for having
otherwise,
me.
I'd be talking to myself.
You could do it, though.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week by myself, everybody. No, guys, here's the deal. Have a great night. We can't thank you enough, and we'll see you on the diamond.